Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another edition of the MFK Spotlight Podcast. I am your host, Dev Foster, and today we are joined by the band ShinraCo. Guys, how you doing?
We're doing great, Dev. We're really glad to be here.
Good, Dev. How are you?
I'm doing well. This has been a long time coming. I have been looking forward to interviewing you guys for a hot minute. I spoke with Johnny a couple months back, and we've slowly been working our way towards this, and we finally got our schedules at the right point, and I'm really, really glad for that because I love the album. How about you guys introduce yourselves to the audience at home who might not know the individual components that make up ShinraCo?
All right, I'm Eric, and I play lead guitar and sing backing vocals.
I'm Jerome. I'm the bassist, and I sing.
I'm Jeremy, and I play drums.
I'm Johnny. I do rhythm guitar and lead vocals, and I, for one, have missed you, Devin.
and I you. We did an interview a couple months ago when you were preparing for your Kinshu.
Close. Very good. It was close.
You know what? I tried. You're preparing for your turn. You guys are actually just releasing your album, which we're going to play a bit of today, Come to Grips.
All right.
You guys sent me a copy of, and I loved. Like, start to finish, I'm a fan. You guys just recently added your drummer to the band. Tell me what that was like, kind of having spent this time coming together and putting together this album, and then having someone else kind of come in, and how did you work out that dynamic?
All right, so essentially we made the album. One of the reasons behind why we made the album is because we wanted to be able to show people what a full sounding band of ShinraCo would sound like in a recorded setup. So, and also not to mention, so we could have material, so we could audition a drummer and just have the song played in the proper context. So we finished the record, and then we were like, okay, you know what? We got to go out and find the drummer. So let's pick out, the best 5 songs that we have, or just some of the more challenging songs on the record, and let's just go ahead and put it out there. And Jeremy was one of the drummers that messaged us, and from day one, the minute that he walked into the rehearsal studio, beat number 1 all the way to the end of it, it was perfect. He knew how to play everything, and it felt very natural. He's one of the first drummers that I don't have to worry about when I'm playing behind him, because I know that he's got it, that I don't have to sit here and worry about it and tell him how to play his parts or anything like that. So it's a really nice thing to not have to worry about that. But yeah, that's pretty much how it came. And then we've just been rehearsing and playing ever since. So, that was romantic.
Well, Johnny and I have been doing this a little bit before Eric even joined the band. It was Johnny and I for a little bit, and we were just playing these acoustic shows and open mics and really trying to stay alive, and try to put the pieces of the puzzle together. And then Eric came in, and it finally became the sound that we wanted out of ShinraCo. We're still evolving and progressing as it is, but I think that we're finally where we need to be as a band. And now that we have Jeremy, it puts that final piece of the puzzle together, and now we can just go out and rock out, like we always wanted to the level that we want. Because there has been some challenges along the way, but now finally we can face some of these challenges together and just keep moving forward.
These are so touching. What about you, Johnny?
This incarnation is how it was supposed to sound the whole time. And when me and Jerome finally, when Eric finally joined the band, it was at a point where it's like we could have honestly done this with no drummer, but we were like, we want to be a certain kind of band and make a certain kind of sound. And we, like Eric said, we auditioned some dudes, and I don't play. I'm a drummer as well. We all know what we want. Yeah. And, Jeremy came in and he put it down. And the cool part about it was he put it down, and he's a humble guy. He's a cool guy. He wasn't on that musician ego type stuff that everyone else is on. I will admit a lot of us are on that, but Jeremy's mad cool, and I will let him tell you for himself.
Jeremy, what was it like coming into the band, having this sound kind of form, this brother, if you will, but also having an entire album put together, and then you just kind of coming in and having to fit yourself in? somehow. What was that like?
Well, when I first found them on, I believe it was Craigslist, I wanted to find a band
Where
that already.
where all long-lasting relationships begin. Correct.
I was gonna say I did put the ad up on Backpage, but I
Held out a little bit longer.
I wanted to find a band that had already found their sound, and they did. So when I heard their album, I was like, okay, I can do this. After hearing it, I was able to memorize it, and then going into the first audition, I was hoping that I fit with them well because I could tell that they were a tight-knit group, and I wanted to mesh well with them, and I wanted them to like me as a person.
And we do. We like Jeremy. He's cool people.
That's a big thing, liking each other, on a more friend, personal type of level, because I don't want to be in a band with someone that cannot be a friend with.
You can't create with don't like, and we all hang out. We're boys. You know what I'm saying? So it works.
What were you guys doing before ShinraCo? Because I know that you guys got together in phases. So what were you guys doing before you stumbled into the band?
I was in a glam metal band for about 3 years, and that's not a joke.
Nope.
I was the lead singer of a glam metal tribute band called Hollywood Boulevard, and I left. I believe it was.
It was
actually
after
no.
you were in the band.
Yeah, it was after I came into the band. So I was juggling 2 bands at the same time. It was kind of it's kind of a little stressful. But I loved it. It was great. I still talk to the guys. There's no bad blood. There's nothing behind the music worthy. But yeah, no, those guys are great. And I just left because I just got tired. I mean, it's playing 4-hour gigs as a lead singer can take a toll on you.
Okay.
But yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing up there musically. But otherwise, I was still doing the same job, still doing everything that I was doing at the time, and still doing that now.
Jeremy.
I was playing a bunch of old cover bands here in the Tampa Bay area, and I just got tired of that. I wanted to see what original people were out there, and I was lucky enough to find these guys. So, God bless them.
God
bless you too, Jeremy.
Sentimental as
Right.
Well, I was living in West Palm Beach for a year.
John, he left me.
Johnny wanted me in the band, and he actually didn't tell me that he wanted me in the band previously, and I had to move. I was starting a family and everything, and I moved to West Palm Beach for a year, and I came back, and then once I came back, we started talking. We always kept in communication, but we used to be in 2 separate bands, and we used to play together all
the time. Yeah,
we had shows back to back. We were buddy bands.
We were buddy bands,
Yeah. I used to kick his ass in King of Fighters all the time, and it was fun. So then we started talking, and we started jamming. We formed a band together, and with other people, and that didn't work out. So later on, I got with ShinraCo, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because I was like he said, we were in 2 different bands, and my band was falling apart a little bit, and we needed a new bass player. And right about that time, Jerome decided to just be the most selfish person and start a family and get married and all this. He's selfish.
How dare he? How dare he?
Happy, damn it.
So he moved away for like a year and a half or something like that. And when we stayed in touch, and when he came back, it was like, hey man, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And I always wanted to be in a band with Jerome, even when he was in his old band, because playing with them so much, I recognized his drive, and it completely matched mine. Jerome does not play when it's time for band business. We call him our HR department.
Yeah, seriously.
Because he's the guy. He's the nicest one in the band, and he's the one that, like, above anything else, Jerome's going to make sure that the corners are nicely tucked, the I's are dotted, the T's are crossed. He's good with it. So I always wanted to be in a band with him. Me, I was doing the same stuff before this. Before ShinraCo ever started, I was running a small skate business. I still do sometimes. But, yeah, that's a story for another day.
Okay. So when you guys got together and because I know you guys, when you heard Jeremy play, you guys said it kind of clicked and it, things kind of like shifted into the position that they needed to be in. But personally, how long did it take for you guys to all kind of click? Or was it kind of an instantaneous kind of thing?
Well, I've known Johnny and Eric for a bit before even being in a band with them. I knew Johnny about a good 3 years before we even became ShinraCo.
We've just been homies, yeah.
You know, before I even joined ShinraCo. So I've known him on a personal level, and, you know, I always wanted to play with him, not only because I really like his music, but, you know, one big thing for me is to be cool with the people you're playing music with. Absolutely. You know? And that's one of the main things I wanted to. You know, he writes a lot of catchy music, and that's a big thing for me. Catchy music.
Thank you.
And as far as Eric, you know, I've known Eric
Since college.
straight out of high school. You know.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know, so I've known Eric for like almost 8 years.
Yeah,
8
almost
years, 9 years. And we had I think our first band experience together, I believe.
Yeah.
And you know, we kind of
didn't work out so well.
Yeah. We were immature and stupid, you know, and we looked at things. We looked at it was way too far ahead and didn't really think too much of what the realistic goals were. And you know, here we are, a much more mature version of ourselves, you know, doing it again. And definitely this version and is a lot more fun. And you know, it's awesome because we're adults and we understand the responsibilities and we understand when to be fun, when to be serious. And you know, I always appreciate that how good he is in the guitar and the vocals. And you know, he always he's the type of person that it always motivated me to be a better singer. You know? He always motivated me to take me to the next level. And that's what, I'm not afraid to be with people that I feel might be a little bit better than me in certain areas.
That's how you get better.
That's how you get better. You know?
Iron sharpens iron, for sure.
Exactly. Exactly. I scream that in the gym at people every day. I scream that exact statement every day.
And then I feel that all of us have something that we look at each other and say, you know what, let me see what he's doing, and let me see what I can use from that to make what I'm doing better.
Yeah, I mean, I've known Jerome pretty much straight out of high school. I've known Johnny now for a good couple of years. Yep. And the one thing that I always take away from both of them, because that's my one takeaway, is that these cats are just incredible songwriters, and I love them for that. They're great friends. But above all, they're just these amazing songwriters. And I'm not the greatest songwriter in the world, I would say that much, but these two, I would be nothing without these two. Really, without these guys. I'm serious. I'm serious. I'm not trying to get sappy here or anything.
It became sappy like 3 minutes ago.
The next question.
I'm all right. Hey, let's move on.
I'm not crying. You're crying. In all seriousness, I think they're all really great songwriters, and we just complement each other very, very well. So
after we make our first million, we're all gonna turn on each other like a mother.
Yeah, we're all gonna hate each other.
We're gonna hit each other with steel chairs and all that. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's one of the things. I mean, I've been in bands for John, you've been in bands longer than I have, but I've been in bands for the last 10 years now, and that's one of the things that always separates the good bands from the really great bands is that if you can hang out with your people, if you can go to dinner with them, if you can break bread with them, that really helps out a lot. It really helps your chemistry as an entire band, not only from the stage, but when you do interviews like this or when you go out and do tours or whatever, it helps out quite a lot to just really like each other and be on the same page.
Comfort is important.
Mm-hmm.
Comfort
Absolutely.
Is key. It's also about we're really, all four of us respect each other as dudes and as musicians. You know what I'm saying? There's no clashing, there's no competition like of egos and all that stuff. We're all on the same page. We're trying to ride towards the same goal. Mm-hmm. So, it works out cool.
Okay. So, like I said, you guys sent me a copy of the album, and I listened to it start to finish, and I loved it. What was it like writing this album?
Well, it was a thing where there was a few songs that they just hadn't seen the light of day yet. And, they were already ShinraCo songs, but there's a bunch of them that hadn't been released, and then there were a couple of them that I just weren't ready to let go of yet, Yeah. And so I brought those along, and then I was a little worried that I wasn't going to have enough material, and I'm lucky with Eric and Jerome because these guys both have, it wasn't like they joined the band and then we had to start at square one. These guys showed up with bangers. They showed up with good material that we could draw from. So there's all these different wells of, different stuff that we can pull. And again, there's no ego. So if Jerome comes to me and says, hey man, I have a song, okay, cool. If Eric says, hey man, I got this song, okay, cool. It's all about meshing,
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what this whole album was. This was such a DIY situation, and it sounds amazing because we all meshed and we all put in to get to this goal. So that would be my answer. What do you think, Eric?
As far as I'm concerned, Johnny wrote like half the record. I'll say that straight up. Johnny and Jerome wrote half the record, if I can say that better. And all I did was just because I engineered the record and I played, I programmed the drums and all the rest of the other stuff. I just made it sound pretty. But the thing is that the songs were there, the material was good, the cohesiveness, if that's a better word, was there for all of these songs. I mean, some of them did take a little bit of tweaking, but even then, the tweaks took 5 minutes and they were just fantastic. And that's my opinion on the record. I mean, with every good record, it starts with good songwriting. Everything else on top of it is fluff. Yeah. If you have good songs, you can put in the wrench time and put in some good work, and you're gonna have a good polished product, and it's not gonna matter. What else you put it on or what style you put it on it. I'm just glad that I was able to come in and do my thing on it. Everybody else came in and did their own thing, and it was great.
We also wrote some of these songs together while recording the record, and some of them being Castle Walls, Ghost Me, finishing Cellular Phone while doing the record, and just a couple other ones that we actually were completing while doing the record.
Jeremy didn't write shit.
And
I walked into shit.
Oh, well then.
We have written some new material, and we're always writing. It's not anything that ever stops. And anytime I play a riff at rehearsal or something like that, the first thing that Jeremy does is, "Hey, dude, play that again," and off it goes. And then there's a brand new song. So
and also the drums that were done in the record were done. They were produced and through Pro Tools and all that. And Jeremy comes in to this song, and he has so much to add to these songs. He gives it that extra groove, that extra,
it's very organic,
that organic feel to these songs that when you listen to them live, it just sounds different. It sounds with more life, even more life than what it has on the record. And that's definitely something that we appreciate that Jeremy brings to the table. That extra set of grooviness, the extra set of life to these songs that we already have that we're proud of.
I mean, yo, Dev, live show. Before we say anything else, the ShinraCo live set is something to behold. Our live show is where we hit you in the head, man. Come see us live.
Not literally. We don't literally.
We're not going to hit you in the head. Not for real.
No. This isn't a loudness song, okay? Yeah. All right. No, the one thing I was going to say is, that's the difference between programmed drums and a real drummer. There's a tangible difference, and you can hear it even when it's on a record. Because, and I'll tell you, I've already told this to the boys. The next record we do is going to be done with live drums, and it's it's something that we're going to have to sink a little bit of money into, but it's worth it because we'll do the rest of the record here at my studio, but the drums are really going to be the things that need to be live, so then the sound can be completely cohesive and it can be natural and organic.
Yeah, I think that's actually a great selling point for your live shows. The fact that if you love the songs on the album, if you love how it sounds on the album, come to the live show because now there's this added extra element in the equation that's just gonna put it over the top. And
this is to your point. Another thing that's a really great selling point is that every single thing that we do on the record is we can play that live.
It's amazing.
The vocals on some of these songs, like I am a fan.
I told you. Do you remember our last interview? Do you remember I told you? I said, "Hey, everybody, when you hear the vocals, background, lead, and harmony, it's something else. It's it's a love for ShinraCo."
Yeah. That was a goal of mine. Because I wanted so bad. I wanted to have the Van Halen, the Queen, the Extreme, that kind of vocal level. I wanted to have that on the record. I think that, we
definitely felt those Queen vibes for sure.
And we're obviously looking to improve it on every recording. And the important thing is that we do this stuff live. There is no Pro Tools. There is nothing there to help us. We are too broke for that. Story. Therefore, we have had to do all of this stuff ourselves, and all the background vocals that you hear on the record can be done and will be done on the live show. That is something that we work very, very hard at, and it's something that I believe sets us apart from all the other local bands.
Justify.
Well, one song I am definitely looking forward to hearing live, and I've been playing quite a bit throughout the day, and I caught myself singing it to myself as I was preparing for this interview, is Cellular Phone.
Yeah, exactly.
I really dig this song. So tell me how this song came about.
Jerome, you go first, man. You go first.
Well, Cellular Phone, I think it was like Johnny's baby, and I kind of adopted the baby, and then it just kind of became this thing. And so Johnny started running the song, and he had some ideas, and then he just started playing the guitar, and then I started singing. It took a little bit of time because we wrote a little bit of it, took a break from it, then went back, and we wanted to make sure that this song that felt right. Nothing was forced. None of the vocals were forced, because this is a fun song.
He's pretty much like that's. I agree fully. This song, I scrapped this song twice because I really wanted it to be good. I had a feeling it was going to be cool, and there's a really neat C sharp in there that I'm mad proud of, and I wanted it to be good. I wanted it to be good, so we kept on kind of, like he said, piecemealing and looking at it, and finally when all the guys were in the band, we kind of came back to it at a studio session one time, and we were messing with it, and Eric had some cool ideas. Jerome and I had put together pretty much most of the song. We did a little bit of tweaking. On the album, fun fact for anybody out there, on the album, when you listen to Cellular Phone, two things that you probably notice. It sounds like we're having a party. You know what I mean? That's the way it's supposed to sound. The vibe of that, I really wanted it to be a fun sing-along with a drink in your hand kind of song.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
And the other thing is, when you hear the Cellular Phone on the album, Eric does the first verse. I showed you the first verse. I've since gone back to doing it now, but I took some time away from it because when we were writing and recording the song, I started freaking out because, like I said, I wanted it to be good. And I was like, oh, this doesn't sound good at all. I sound terrible. Somebody else sing it. Like, I had a mini meltdown. So it's going to be a little bit different live, but it's the same thing. And it's so much fun. It's really simple. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're going to play the song, actually, if you don't mind.
Well, yeah. All right. Let's do it.
All right. So here is Cellular Phone by ShinraCo.
It goes down easier than you. When I told you no, you think it's just for show. But tonight, you won't get my time. Drinking alone, 'cause I don't need you. I want you out the door. Leave it behind, 'cause there's no way to convince me to waste my time. And I said, don't. Knock at my door and I say, don't you try to call me on my cellular phone. And I say, hey, don't try to reach me online. And don't you ever try to text me, I will give you the time. How about you know? Come on. Yeah. Hey! When I went away won't have me again. Drinking alone, 'cause I don't need you, I want you out the door. Leave it behind, 'cause there's no way to convince me to waste my time. And I said, don't knock at my door. And I said, don't you try to call me on my cellular phone. And I say, hey, don't try to reach me online. And don't you ever try to text me, I will give you the time. And it's not so sad, because I'm out with my friends and you're at home mad. And I don't feel bad, 'cause at the end of the day, I still dumped your ass. And I said, knock at my door. And I said, don't you try to call me on my cellular phone. And I say, hey, don't try to reach me online. And don't you ever try to text me, I will give you the time. I said, don't knock at my door. And I said, don't go on my cellular phone. And I said, don't try to reach me online.
All right, we're back. That was Cellular Phone by ShinraCo. Now, Johnny, you started writing this song originally. I have to ask, do you want to share who that song was about?
Okay, so originally that song was gonna be something else. It was supposed to be about some other stuff, and we switched it up. That song's about a couple people. From perspective, I can't speak on Jerome or Eric, but that song's about a couple people, and it's like the song says. It's like, you know what? You kind of suck. And I'm kind of over it, so it's cool, you know. Like, there's something special about it. If there's always a song about you broke my heart, or I'm never gonna love again, or blah 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 blah. Is there something cool about getting over it and being like, nah, screw you. It's fine. Don't call me. I'm good. Don't call. I love that feeling. We all love that feeling. It's awesome. So that's why I wanted it to be like a sad, this didn't work out, like a, oh my God, I dodged a bullet. Where's my people? You know what I mean? That's the vibe I had. I think we've all been in that situation.
We were actually talking about your live performances before we played the song. What is your favorite song to play live right now from the album?
For me, new guy, your favorite song? Either
each of you tell me what your favorite song to play is.
I'd say either Nightfall or Ghost Me. So my favorite is Monster. That's bottom line. I love that song. That's fantastic. Second favorite would probably have to be Formula.
My two favorites to play are Absolutely Zero. It's a very fun song, and also I would say Formula too, because all the changes that are in between. That's why I definitely love to play those two.
I think my two favorite songs to play, my very first favorite right now is Cellular Phone, because I love the vibe, but I also really enjoy playing Professor That's a fun song, and I think that if you listen to it on the album, the music's just so sick. Like, it's a fun song, and it's fun live. You know, those are good vibe songs. I love the whole album, though. I can actually put the album on and leave it on. It's awesome.
Yeah. You know? Oh, and by the way, at the end of Professor you will notice that there's like a minute of silence into there. You a couple of times and see if you can find the hidden message.
Yeah, there's a couple hidden messages in that.
Some Easter eggs in there?
Yeah, some Easter eggs. Yeah. It's like watching a Marvel movie. There's a bunch of Easter eggs.
Gotcha. So, what would you say sets ShinraCo apart from the rest of the local, music scene here in, Tampa, Clearwater?
I knew he was going to say that.
All the way down the vocals.
The vocals. That's, bar none, is what sets us apart. And
We have the most black people in the Bay Area. I don't care if anyone rep. I rep that so hard. Race card.
Oh my god.
And every song is catchy, Dad.
yeah,
Every song.
in all seriousness, because I've been going to live shows here for years, and I've always been a part of the Tampa scene. And one of the things that I always have a problem with is whenever I go out and listen to other live bands, is that, you know, the guitars are great, drums are great, bass is great, but the vocals are just not where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's a lost art. I feel like a lot of people just don't put in the wrench time, or maybe just leave the vocals on as an afterthought, or they just scream. And if that's what it's intended to, it's fine. But if that's not what fits the song, then it doesn't work. The second thing is the songwriting. Everybody is trying very adamantly to write the most unique and original song, and, you know, using the weirdest 9th to 13th chords that they can, but they've forgotten about good songwriting. They've forgotten about the people that are going to be listening to this. Because whenever I play to try to bring the most amount of people that I can, and to hear people sing along. I don't hear so I can impress my guitar player buddy who's sitting in the back with his arms crossed. That's not the kind of person I am, and I don't think that's anybody here.
No.
I guess I would say, you know, we're a band of the people. We like to play to the people, and
Morgan.
You hear this?
Yeah.
That's why we hired him.
For the people. But yeah, that's pretty much my take on it.
Okay, so listen. There is nothing on this album that I have a problem with, except one thing. And I usually don't talk about chinks in the armor publicly because I like to keep stuff nice and inside. But dude, the song "Wake Up," the music, I think we murdered it. I think the music was so good. I was off in my head when we recorded, and some songs I think I came through for. Other songs, man, I was so buried in wanting this album to be good that I freaked myself out. And I think "Wake Up" came out. I think it came out well, but that's not Johnny. That's not focused Johnny. That's not Johnny really bringing it like he can. So I think that was the one thing on the album. I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm gonna go back in and probably redo my part. The music is perfect on there, but I think my part left a little bit to be desired that at least I wasn't happy with. The boys kept telling me it's fine, but you know, we're all our own worst critic.
How do you get yourself out of that headspace? Do you guys go to each other to kind of build each other up, or is there like a process that you guys do individually to kind of bolster your self-esteem, so to speak?
There's honestly during the recording, we relied on each other a lot. Not just to get through like our own personal stuff, but also to get through the songwriting and being able to get it done. I mean, look, there are some takes that, there are some solos on the record that took 30 takes. There are some solos on the record that took 2 takes. And that was pretty much it. I mean, the whole point is that perfection is the enemy of good.
We always ask each other how did we feel about each other's takes. And if we were okay with it, if all of us were on board with the take, that was good, because at the end of the day, we have to be able to love each other's stuff in the band and in the record. And I feel like all of us appreciate what the other people did on the record, and that's what matters. The fact that all of us love what we did, and and that speaks volumes.
The whole point is to just be satisfied with what we wrote, satisfied with our parts, because ultimately we're the ones that are going to have to end up playing this stuff to people. Mm-hmm. So we have to be happy with it, and that's it, man. It's whatever makes us happy. I mean, everything else comes second.
2017 is coming to a close. You guys are ending this year a better band than you started. And I know you guys have some live stuff coming up. What are some of your other goals coming up for the year ahead?
you know, something that we really wanted to take this band to the next level. With the record out, with the drummer here, I feel that we should definitely go for the higher level shows and the higher level opportunities. And I feel like we are all of us are motivated to do that. All of us are ready musically and professionally and whatever it takes to get to that next level. We're definitely trying to get into those bigger venues, you know, like the State Theaters and the Havens. We have a show at the Haven going on in April. And then, you know, we're definitely trying to knock on those bigger doors for sure.
For my plans for the coming year are to kill it, man. I basically want to, while I love local shows, I love the town and towns that we play in regularly. It really is time for us to start branching out to a more regional type of situation, at least, because we have that kind of show and that kind of vibe. And I think that nowadays music is so wide open that we need to be out in front of as many people as possible so that we can spread the music, man. Just see who wants to get down with us. And it's going to be cool because we're still building our fan base at home as well. So that's my plans for the coming year. I think that it's going to be, you know, pedal to the metal. I'm going straight forward with it. You know, that's my plan. What about you, Jay?
I mean, on top of all that too, Dev, the fun part is that we're writing new music all the time. It's coming out just so naturally that it's just going to get better and better.
Yeah. It's musical diarrhea.
Yeah.
I can't wait for the next album. The next album is writing itself.
Yeah, it really is.
It's really cool.
It's coming out so easily.
I can say easily, we probably, if we were to just say we're just going to release an album right now, we probably already have like 7 or 8 songs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know,
So, I mean, we're writing all the time, and it does, as much as I love our local scene, there is stuff beyond it, and there's definitely places to go, especially with a band like ours.
Sure. So
Yeah.
we're going to play some more music right now. Set this up for us. We're going to play Ghost Me. I love the vocals on this song.
Eric Rome, this is their baby.
Yep. Okay. So just to kind of set this off, this song was one of those like, hey, I've got this. Jerome is funny. Ironically, Jerome had the guitar riff and some of the vocal lines, and then I came in and I did the chorus.
Well, here's the thing. This is how it all started. So we were supposed to have a ShinraCo day, right? And we went kayaking, and
no, we're not getting into this.
yeah, we are. Yeah. Okay.
Really?
So I'm not gonna go too much into detail. We went kayaking, and Eric doesn't know how to paddle. Like seriously, this guy just runs into trees all the time. But what happened is afterwards, you know, we started talking. We ate at a breakfast place, and then we went back to the studio, and we were recording Me versus I. And after we were recording Me versus I, you know, I said, hey, you know, take a look at this riff, and I showed him, and then we were talking about the message that was involved, and it kind of.
I mean, the message of the song is about being ghosted and the whole modern dating scene that we've all experienced. You know, you message a girl, you know, or she messages you, you know, great conversation for, you know, a couple hours, couple days, and then boom, out of nowhere, it's gone. And that's kind of where the lyrics came from because I was just going through something like that, and that was bitter as shit.
Yeah. And that's what I wrote it so because it was just really Eric venting.
Yeah.
And that's the whole song.
Yeah. So that's kind of where it went, and I did not intend to sing as high as I did, but I did anyway.
That's how he deals with the rage.
Yeah. As I can. So that's kind of where it went. We literally wrote it in 15, 20 minutes, and then we just put it together, and the song just kind of evolved from there.
And I feel like that's as organic as it gets because we took that song, I showed him, he added that stuff, I added that thing, and then boom, it was just very, very easy, and we didn't really have to think about it. It was the easiest song to do, to be honest with you. Some songs come like that, some songs you have to put a little bit more thought into, but just something about this song made it very easy to put the pieces together, and it's mainly the message because it was something that was very relatable to us here. And then this is a song that, you know, we love glam. and hard rock and, the extremes and the Van Halens and stuff like that. And, we love the harmonies and that's the type of stuff that we love to do. And when this is a song that basically captures that in different sections of the song. And that's why this song got us so pumped and so excited to do.
Okay. Well, so we're gonna play that song. We're gonna come back and we're gonna chit chat a little bit more. How's that sound?
Really good, man. Let it play.
All right, great. Jeremy, intro us the song.
All right, everybody. This is Ghost Me, one of our favorite songs. Please enjoy.
I don't know what is going on inside your mind. All these messages without reply. Remove the tape or we can press rewind. Oh no, mystery is the place where you're taking me. I don't wanna live in misery. How much longer will it be to find what you're looking for? So would you ghost me after you touch me? I wanna be more. So would you ghost me after you touch me? Will I ever see you again? Hey! Will I see you again? I don't know if you love me or you want control. You show me interest, but it takes a toll. So let's be honest, won't you tell me if I'm what you're looking for? So would you ghost me after you touch me? I wanna be more. So would you ghost me after you touch me? Will I ever see you again? Hey! Will I see you again? See you again. So would you ghost me after you touch me? I wanna be more. So would you ghost me after you touch me? Will I ever see you again? So would you ghost me after you touch me? I wanna be more. So would you ghost me after you touch me? Will I ever see you again? Hey!
That was Ghost Me by ShinraCo. I feel like that song is gonna be worth the price of admission. Just
Who's Dev?
hearing those notes live is gonna be worth the price of admission. And just
Yeah, come to the show, man, and tell your friends, brother. It's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. So, where can we find the album?
The album is everywhere where you can get music at. So iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, wherever. It's up pretty much everywhere. In fact, that's actually where I have it. I have it on Apple Music because iPhones are stupid and I couldn't download my own copy onto the record. So that's where I have it at. So if you want a good place to find it, Apple Music, Google Play, Spotify, you can find it pretty much anywhere where digital records are sold.
Yeah, and even Bandcamp. We also have a Bandcamp.
You can have a Bandcamp as well.
And you can find us there. You can just Google ShinraCo Bandcamp, and it goes straight to our website.
Yep. I have it on Spotify because I will not be oppressed by Apple Music. So any outlet, you can get us anywhere pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So you guys have some live shows coming up. Where can we see you next?
January 26th, we're going to be at Foo Bar in St. Petersburg. The show starts, I believe, at 8 o'clock. Yeah,
so nobody be late.
Yep. We're going to be playing with the Stone Cobras.
We're playing with the Stone Cobras, Johnny Mile and the Kilometers, which is a pretty cool name.
Yeah.
And then a band called Alien Tape Recorder. And you guys, if you never heard of them, they're pretty crazy, man. It's like experimental, garagey, weird. I've seen them before. They're pretty neat. And then, and then there's us. It's going to be a pretty neat night. What else we got? We got February 16th at the Foo Bar again. So if you missed us the first time, you can come through this time. Now, the second time is our official, because we haven't had one yet. It's our official CD release party. I'm trying to pull some strings, and maybe it'll be like a CD release party. We're talking about putting some extra stuff on the album. Nothing's confirmed yet, so please don't expect that. But those are the ideas we're tossing around. And then
not expected, but expected.
We have no shows in March, right?
No, and so and then we'll be able to tell you guys more details later. But we have a show at the Haven
in Orlando.
So Orlando peeps, do please come out and support us. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I have personally played at the Haven before. And I think, you have Johnny, right? Haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, and the Haven is a lot of fun, and shout out to the sound guy there, my buddy Axel. He's fantastic. That's going to be a really great show, but I can't wait to play Foo Bar and pretty much anything else that we've got coming up.
For real, though, Orlando people, come see us. It's not very often that we get to come out there and hang out with you guys, so come through, come party. Show them that we got it going on out there too. It'll be a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We'll make sure we have all of that information posted when this goes up.
Yep.
When you listen to this album and you take in, all of the work that it's taken to create this, and then you hear the feedback that the people are giving you, do you feel a sense of satisfaction? Because I spoke to Johnny, a couple months ago, and the sites were a lot smaller. It feels like you guys have set your sights a little bit bigger this time around. Is that accurate?
Okay, so I'll go first on this one. I think all of us might have a slightly different answer. I honestly, man, look, I'm open to everything. I think the universe is huge. And I think if you work hard, you get cool stuff. But as far as ShinraCo goes, man, I'm not chasing a label. I'm not chasing a deal. But at the same time, I get up and all I want to do is play music and do it. Then I'm not going to suck at it. I'm going to put everything in. So, I still do it as if I still go hard with it, And I think if you have a gift, if you have a passion, you have to go hard with it, whether or not you're trying to make it big. I don't care if I ever get a huge house or anything. If I can make some extra money playing music and, travel a little bit playing music and hang out with my friends, drink some free beer, that's cool. Now, if it goes past that, it's all bonus round. And I'm awesome with that too. But I think that putting that kind of goal in front of myself will make me obsess over it like I did when I was a kid. And I don't want to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And with that being said, to Johnny's point, I mean, we have set the standards high, but not so high that if something falls short, that we're extremely disappointed that we can't get back up. The thing is that we have not stopped working, and we won't stop working because the grind doesn't stop. We have a lot more to say. We have a lot of things to get done, and we're not resting on our laurels. There's a lot of bands out there that like to do that think, oh yeah, we put out our first record. Look at how awesome we are. And then after 5 or 6 months, you don't hear from them. That's not us. That's what we're not here to do. We're here to work, and we're here to put in the wrench time for whatever comes around. Whether it's playing for 5 people or 20,000, it doesn't matter. It's still going to be the same work ethic, and it's still going to be the same drive because this is what we all love to do.
We're very satisfied with this album because I can rock out to this album sometimes more than other music that I have in my collection.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because I listen to this so much, and I'm sure that other people that tag along with me are, I wouldn't say sick and tired, but they keep hearing these songs over and over again because I'm so in love with the material and everything that we've released, and I'm very proud of what everyone did in this record. So I'm very satisfied. But the grind, and like Eric said, the grind doesn't stop, and the grind even becomes even more harder, and we got to go a little bit more because we have this album that came out, and this is just going to put us into those doors where we have to grind a little bit more to get these opportunities, and this motivates us.
And besides that, in this day and age with the internet and everything, we don't have to chase a dream like that because if this does not work out, I'm going to be a SoundCloud rapper. They're getting paid a lot of money. They're getting paid. So I have a contingency plan. This is going to be fine. All right? And look out for my mixtape.
Yeah, and to just kind of wrap it up a little bit, I will say that I'm very, very happy with the way that the record came out. Overall, I'm very happy with it because it's its own unique piece of work. Once you put in our next one, it'll be the same thing because we don't leave records half finished, so we don't leave good songs on the table. So I'm very satisfied with the way it came out, but that doesn't mean that we're done. That doesn't mean that that's the end of it. That there's going to be more records where that one came from, and hell, from the songwriting material that we have going on, we've got some really, really great stuff happening.
We're going to be getting on your nerves for a long, long time. We're just fresh.
This new stuff is even more high energy because you're going to be hearing a lot more of Jeremy. Mm-hmm. And that's a big thing. You're gonna be Jeremy's a very high energy drummer, and he's definitely groovy as well. And then you're gonna be hearing a lot of that when the next album comes out.
The next album, is it gonna have? I know you said you're gonna hear more of Jeremy, but is it gonna maintain that? Because when I listen to this album, I get that. I told Johnny this 80's rock vibe. Is it gonna stay in that vein, or are you guys gonna branch out and do different sound?
That's never gonna leave.
Yeah.
80's for life.
It took us long enough to get it where it should be. I've been trying to make the band sound like this. If anyone's listening and you're an old fan of ShinraCo, I've been trying to get this sound out of this band for the last 4 or 5 years. Okay, and so the music is going to elevate, the writing is going to elevate, but that sensibility and that vibe and that flavor, that will always be there. I think if we have a niche, if we have a sound, that is probably it,
Yeah, I don't expect to be making a lot of engineering changes because we all like the way it does. If we ever go in a radically different direction, it's going to be something that is going to be a collective decision. And here's the point that I want to say. To all the bands out there that are afraid of changing their sound because their fans will be angry, fuck them. No,
please direct all emails to Eric Trujillo.
No. Listen, here's what I mean by that. Because here's the thing. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to like your own sounding. Exactly, and to branch out. Yeah. Because, dude, it's music. It's what makes you happy. If people like it, great. If people don't like it, it's whatever. Yeah. We're in a great position because we're not having to do this for a label or, having to meet sales expectations and whatnot. We did this for ourselves because this is what we to do, and we chose to do it this way. If we choose to do it another way next time, so be it. But that's gonna be up to us. It's not gonna be up to anybody else.
It's really because the reason why we have the sound, and most likely we're gonna keep this sound, or at least the basis of it, is because a lot of us grew up with 80s and 90s influence. And Eric and I, we're very big when it comes to, I said this previously, hard rock and Van Halen, Extreme, and all that stuff. And that's the type of stuff that we love. And, you have Johnny here who loves Elvis Costello and a lot of other things that he brings to the table. And, we want to make sure that we bring our influences, and then we don't want to, we also want to experiment, but we want to do the things that inspired us and also the things that we're excited about playing. And you're definitely going to hear that type of sound in our music. Even if it's a little bit less or a little bit more, you're definitely still going to hear.
Absolutely. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll definitely be following up in the future. Is there anything else you want to say to the people listening at home?
Thank you, everybody. We love you, and check us out. We are available pretty much in any outlet you get your music on. Check us out. If you love it, tell a couple people. If you don't like it, that's cool too, man. Don't tell anybody.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Hey, Dev, really quick, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you so much. Ever since the first time you interviewed me, you've been nothing but cool. You've been a really big supporter. ShinraCo loves Dev. Thank you so much, bro.
That means a lot. Thank you guys. All right.
ShinraCo's a fan of Dev.
Boom.
Yeah.
Mutual fandom. Yay. All right. That's all we have for this episode of the MFK Spotlight Podcast. Thank you guys for listening, and tune in next time.
Follow us.